Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it. They got it. And there he goes. The 6 or the 10 to 5. Oh, the play of the year in the NFL.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here with episode 10 of Bud's Mafia. We are recording on the actual St. Patrick's Day here, Monday, March 17th. I don't know about you, Jackson. I had a great St. Patrick's Day. Went to Toronto. Not a big fan of going to Toronto. Not a big city boy, but it was fun. A lot of money spent. A lot of Guinnesses had. But it was a good weekend with some buddies. How about you?
Yeah, I was up in the air about what I was going to do. Fiance had to work on Saturday, so I was thinking about coming down with you, and then I realized my dad had tickets to go to this Jimi Hendrix tribute, which was a ton of fun. Not any money spent, thanks to my father, who I love so much and hold dearly to my heart. All right. We're back. Quick glitch. But yeah, that was it was a lot of fun. Went out afterwards with a young man named Devin Allman, and yeah, had some beers and some food, and that's it. Yeah, not much. And then just sat and watched some crazy golf on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Speaking of beers, got some Guinnesses here. I definitely want to have some episodes where we just drink, see what happens. This could be me tempted to go off the rails a bit or go pour another one. We'll never know.
Could be very bad for the job.
Yes.
It's neither here nor there.
Oh, yeah. That's what we needed. So what happened was we got to the train station at like 11:30, or a quarter after 11 on Saturday morning. Train was like in like 20 minutes, and we're just like, hey, like, I'm leaving my car here. We should maybe just have like a beer before we go on. I'm like, sure. I had a warm Guinness in a can in the car before we went to the train, and it kind of sucked.
No shit.
Then we got to Ben's place, and then just more Guinness was to have. We went to this event that we got tickets for. It's a long day. Me, Chris, and my girlfriend went home at like 11:30. Right when you texted me, I was like, man, I want to stay, but we've been in Toronto for like 12 hours. I need to go home.
I did not blame you. It was a shot in the dark text message. I'm not going to lie. The young man and I, young Ken, we got downtown at like 5, went to Milestones, watched golf, watched the start of the hockey game, got into Massey Hall. The show was like 2 hours. Got out, and then Dad was like, oh, we're going to meet up with Devin. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, I don't know. Like, I wanted to meet up with Devin, but also at the same time, I was like, let me see where the boys are at. And I had figured that you guys were probably heading home, but it was a shot in the dark, you know? Big Pops and I didn't get home till almost 2 in the morning, which was...
it's just too long, man.
It was wild.
I can't do it anymore.
Let me tell you. I talk about like going out with some of my buddies at work, and they are quite a bit older than me, and they treat me like I'm an absolute child. They're like, you should not be, caring about what the next day feels like. I was like, no, I really care about what the next day feels like.
No, if I can have a nice long day, had some fun with some friends, but I get home at a decent hour so I can chug water and get up at a decent hour the next day, that's prime for me. That's why I love these day drinking events. You can drink all day, then you're in bed by midnight or even 10 o'clock sometimes. You know what I mean? Then the next day you can get up at a good time. But yeah, no, it was good. Got up early to watch the Players on Sunday. But the Players was a great tournament, but the real golf match happened a few days before the Players, or at least I think it was the Wednesday. And that was our first official match. Me and Jackson talked about multiple times. We love golf. This summer is going to be a lot of golf, a lot of competition. The podcast could end because of some matches we have and how poopy pants I can be. But it was between Jackson and Chris. I mean, Jackson's the better golfer than Chris, but Chris is, again, I love him to death, one of my best friends, but he is one of the cockiest golfers I've ever met.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
You're going to say human beings.
No. Cockiest golfers ever. But it
started off well. Like, he was 4 over.
First 6 holes, it was pretty tight.
Yeah, he was 4 over through 5, and I think he was either 5 over through 4 or 4 over through 5, and I was like 3 or 4 over, and I had like a 1-shot lead, and I was like, I shit you not, when I got there and we got onto the driving range, I did not hit a ball off the ground.
You didn't. It was like you hit like 3. It was.
I shanked 2 drives, and I topped 4 7-irons, and I was like, all right, yep, I'm gonna lose, and dignity is gonna go down the drain. And then out of nowhere, I found something. I don't know what I found, but I found something. It was not an amazing showing, but I'll take it for not playing simulator golf in a while.
And where did we play again? What was the course?
We played at Harbortown, which is where they play the RBC Heritage.
And I couldn't remember the course. I've definitely heard of it. And I was like, okay, yeah, because we didn't want to play like Pebble or the other course we usually play, especially how hard it is. And I was like, okay, I'll play Harbortown. And then it was one of the tightest fairways I've ever seen. For a guy who slices the ball 80 yards to the left, I couldn't aim anywhere. And I mean, my tee shot I topped it directly into the water in front of me. I got generous re-tee, and it was arguably the worst golf I've ever played in my entire life. I think through 12, I was 36 over.
Yeah,
the last half, I actually put together some good holes and had some pars, but I think I parred out for the first 4 or 5 holes. And me and Owen through 12 were 36 over and 40 over. Actually, no, I was 32 over, and Chris ended up being 36 over because Chris was up by like 12 on me. Then he shit the bed, so I came back because I was like, I make fun of Chris's golf game so much because how cocky he can be. So like, if I fucking lose this, like, if you two are in that match, I'm like, if I fucking lose to Chris, I don't think I could face him in golf ever again.
No, it became more of a match at the end between you two versus 100%. Me. Like, I kind of shit the bed on 10. I drove it into the water, and then I hit a tree that went straight out of bounds again. That was tough. But other than that, like, yeah, I was very taken aback by Owen's game. He
was talking big before the match.
He was talking a little big. I think he could be pretty good. He was
saying, no, he has a good swing.
Him and Chris probably have the fastest swings I have ever seen. It is just no hesitation. Let me swing as hard as the ball as I can. No shots fired, just the truth.
Chris can drive the ball well, though. Like, sometimes he's hitting it like 280, a little cut down the middle. Like, yes, he can hit that good. He has no touch, though. Mm-hmm. Like, his putting and chipping is just the worst I've ever seen. But like, if it's 160 yards in, 3-wood. He just bunts it. Or, I'm like, dude, you're 100 yards. Yeah, even if you hit an 8-iron if you're that short, like, it's 100 yards. He's like, no, I'm gonna play like my 3-wood. I'm like, what are you doing?
It actually got to a point where it was like, if he shot before me, it messed up what I thought the yardage was. It'd be like 167. I'd be like, oh, I'll grab my 8-iron, and then out of nowhere he pulls a 3-wood, and I'm like trying to think. I'm like, am I getting the yardage wrong? And it's just no. It's just a fucking absolute bullet of a 3-wood that trickles up onto the green, and somehow usually is either just off the green or right on the green. Like, makes. I need to play with him on an actual golf course.
He's one of the best. Like, I mean, again, he shot like 36 over, but in a course he's completely different. He had some good holes, but like, again, I played the worst golf I ever played, but I've shot in the 80s before. We've had some competitive matches before. That was the worst I've ever played. But it's different. It's very different.
It is. And let's just be completely clear. We were 36 over through 12 holes.
Yeah, I know. It was horrible. It was absolutely
Owen stopped playing after the 11th or 12th hole, and he was 40 over. Yeah. So it was, I was a little scared, but ended up just kind of taking a back seat. Took me probably, I'm going to say, average 10 minutes before I hit my next shot. Don't want to sound too cocky, but know.
No, there was times when it was just like you were getting cold, and I felt bad because it was just me and Owen consistently hitting it out of bounds. But we're gonna keep doing these. We love golf. I know we have our friend Griffin who wants an action on the next one. He's asked me multiple times. We'll get him in on there, but I can't wait for actual recording out on the course. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be more exciting. But we're gonna talk about the players at the end there. But we're gonna just hop into hockey here. The Leafs are in a massive skid right now. They stink. They're playing bad. The players we traded 2 first-rounders for are playing horrible. The first game that we got on here, we actually won. It was Utah, even though 3-0 lead, lost it within 10 minutes. I'm going to say something about Utah, though. They can skate. They are fast.
They're
They
quick,
were
man. They're
flying
very
down
quick.
the ice.
It's
They're
crazy.
a team who are only a few points out of playoffs. They're not really talking about them, but they're going to be a perennial playoff team for a long time. Especially how young, like Logan Cooley's only like 21 years old. Gillen Gunther's like 22 years old. Clayton Keller, like they're going to be a hell of a team. But
They're
it was
pretty
a
good.
scary game.
It is scary. I remember at the start of the year they started off flying and then they kind of tapered off a bit. But no, yeah, it's always crazy.
Yeah.
It's always crazy with the new teams. Like when Vegas was new, the only really team that you haven't kind of seen the surge with is Seattle.
Yeah,
a little bit. You haven't
the
seen
first year
that
they
kind
were
of
horrible. They made the playoffs the second year, but then it just hasn't been that same fire. Like I mean, Vegas was insane from the hop, and I mean, obviously Utah is Arizona, but new building, so new franchise. Argue you can say, but there's some excitement, and they're going to be a playoff. I mean, they could still make the playoffs this season. Like they're only a few points out, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, yeah. So 4-3 shootout win. Matthews' goal is insane. I don't even know what he did. He came down the right side and went for a wrist shot. Then he kind of flicked it top shelf. I don't know how that happened, but
it was crazy. Yeah, listening to the commentators about it was like, if you're a goalie, that one just sucks. That one sucks. You really think he's going wrist shot, and he just flips it over top. Yeah.
It's a little change up. But yeah, I mean that was a huge 2 points we got, especially for how the last few games have gone. Also the Benoit fight, probably the most overrated fight I've ever seen, just because the photo was sick. I love Benny. The photo was sick. But if you actually watched the fight,
it was a horrible fight.
He didn't connect. Like I don't think he hit him with a punch really on that Superman, but he kind of like grazed him in the chest or something. I don't think he got him in the head. And
no, not really.
The fight just didn't turn to anything after that.
Well, after he Superman punched him, I think he got punched once, and then they went to the ground. It was like it was the shortest fight ever. But dope photo, unbelievable.
No, the photo's insane. Like when it's like the photo of him facing like that, and it's pretty cool. But if you play the rest of the clip, it's not that.
Yeah, it's tough.
But Carlo and Lawton were horrendous. They did not play very good. They're both not skilled players. So I mean, those type of players take a while to get acclimated into a system because their game's not points. Their game is grinding, hitting, defense, like stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to get acclimated. But yeah, then you head into Florida, which arguably was one of the biggest games of the season. Just how they were 4 points back, and they started off insane. Domi had his best game of the season. He was unbelievable. Great. He absolutely leveled. Who was it?
He leveled Verhaeghe and then absolutely fed Schmidt.
I don't know what Schmidt was. I mean, good on Schmidt. I mean, you got to do something, especially with Kachuk and some of these like Marchand, all these tough guys out. But yeah, Domi just absolutely fed him.
And my favorite thing about when Ty Domi makes a hit or gets in a fight is Max Domi is they always pan to Ty, and Ty just sits there.
Ty doesn't give a shit. He well, I don't know if you've listened to him on Spin Chicos before. He doesn't like the fighter role, even though he hates the term goon or enforcer. He hates that because he's like, I'm a hockey player. I'm not an enforcer. But at the same time, he also killed people on the ice.
Yeah, at the same time, people absolutely feared going near you. Yeah, so,
but I get it. But
yeah, I understand it puts kind of a bad rap on hockey culture. But at the same time, people live for those guys. That's why people want to watch, right?
Yeah, I mean,
or at least certain people.
Yeah, and that's the Domi we need, especially come playoff time. Like that's literally. I mean, I think he had a goal and assist and did he? No, he didn't score that game. He scored against Ottawa, but a great assist in a fight. I mean. After the season, if we don't get Marner, or even if we do re-sign Marner, I hope we throw the bag at Sam Bennett. He was unbelievable. 2 goals. He's not like a stick handler. He grinds. He will kill you in the head. He'll fight. I mean, he fought Nikita Zadorov the other day, who's like 6'8".
Yeah.
And he held his own, and he's a gamer.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know how much he would make, but I can't see him making much more than 9, but a team, like a lower end team, could easily throw a 9 or 8.5 bag at him for 8 years.
Yeah, I ever since the Canada game, like I've always liked him, but ever since watching him play in the Four Nations, like, and then the Boston Florida game could not have come at a better time considering the Marchand trade. Like, it was that game. I don't know if you watched any of that game.
I did. I watched the end of it.
That was like. It was like watching playoffs. It was like just 2 teams who you could tell wanted to go at each other because of everything that went on. And yeah, Bennett going after Zadorov. First of all, Zadorov's like English is hilarious. And when they have him on a mic'd up version, it is so funny. It's hilarious. But you look at the height difference between them and it's like, good Lord, man.
But good on fucking Bennett. He's like 5'8", 5'9", and Zadorov's like 6'6", like 240, 250. And I mean, Zadorov kind of did handle him near the end there, but I mean, he kept, I mean, he didn't hesitate to drop the gloves, so I mean, good on him. But yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with Bennett this offseason. I could see him. He even said after the game, he's like, I love playing here in Toronto. I mean, obviously he's from the GTA area, but I just don't know if we bring back Marner on a 13 and a half, even $14 million deal. I don't know how we can pay Bennett without, I mean, if we just let Tavares walk, we could sign Bennett, which I don't hate that because Bennett is a center and he's younger, not a lot younger, but he is younger. And we can probably get him for a similar price in Tavares, probably a bit more actually. Tavares is probably signed for like 7. We can get Bennett for like 8 and a half, maybe 9. But I don't know. We'll see.
Tavares is, it's crazy. Like you would think that this would be the
most consistent player. He's been insane.
You would think that this was everyone was kind of saying this is going to be the year that he kind of falls off, and then it's like I think he's over 25 goals or close to. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. And yeah, he like for an older dude, his skating ability to get back, especially in like the defensive zone, is very, very impressive.
Yeah, and he's just so strong on the puck. You can't take the puck off him. He's good in faceoffs. Whenever we're down and it's like we pull the goalie, he's the guy taking the draws, and he's always winning them. But heading into another divisional game, I was actually at the pub I was at watching this game. This one stung. This one stung a bit more to me than the Florida game. Tough 4-2 loss against Ottawa. Man, honestly, I think I said this on Twitter. I was on a conversation with like a Tampa guy or something. I'd much rather play or lose to a Florida team than play and lose to Ottawa. I think I could handle it a lot better. And I also think we could beat, like, it's that mentality that Ottawa knows they're that underdog, even though they really aren't because they're like four points behind Toronto now.
Yeah,
and they just have so much energy, so much momentum, and Toronto has so much expectation. Where Ottawa has zero expectations. If they can get into playoffs, they have nothing to lose. Where Toronto has a lot to lose.
Halfway through the year, it was like, oh, they're going to be bottom 6 team again, like whatever. And then out of nowhere, they rattle off a bunch straight. Plus that the win against Toronto was massive for them, and especially just for for their urgency. But like I said to my buddy at work today, I was like, this is kind of obviously a little pessimistic, but I've already moved on past the Leafs. Like I'm on to the Bills AFC Championship loss next year. Like that's what I'm on to. It's just the way they're playing. Berube definitely has them. Like I feel like we'll go into the playoffs a little bit confident. I think tonight is a huge game just for confidence overall.
Have to win tonight. Have to.
Yeah. You know, but and you're playing a tough Calgary team. Like the Calgary is not a rollover team.
They're like a point out of the playoffs. Like they're a team fighting for. I mean, Toronto's 4 points ahead of Ottawa and like 10 ahead of like the last wild card. So I mean, that's definitely not clinched. But I mean, it's you're pretty. If you win a few more games out of the last 14, you're pretty much secured. I mean, this Calgary, they're fighting for their lives. Like, Vancouver is buzzing right now, so you got to think Calgary, who they're neck and neck right now, is going to be hot. Kadri's back in Toronto. St. Patty's game. These next 4 wins, it's Calgary, or 4 games, Calgary, Colorado, Nashville, New York. I think you got to win. I mean, you arguably say at least 2 of these games, but you got to win like 3 of these games.
Yeah, you got to win at least 3.
To get back in that Atlantic race, because Tampa passed us, or at least they're tied with us, but they jumped us in the standings. It's just Florida lost to Islanders last night, which is huge.
Yeah,
we have to capitalize on their losses because they're not going to lose many more games. We have to capitalize on that point differential because if we lose and they win, it's a 4-point game basically because we could have got that 2 points and they got 2 more points. So that Florida game was a 4-point game that we lost. And it just, and Berube said it too, there's no urgency. Like, again, like I keep harping on him. I don't, like, if you're hurt, sit out. I'd rather Matthews sit out. I'd rather him just, if you're hurt, sit out. We have 14 games left. Our record without you is actually pretty good. Just sit out if you're hurt. If it's your back or something, you think with fucking Germany again, fuck off. I want you to be 100% healthy for playoffs. Like, it's just, we traded 2 first-round picks to get a third liner who is not playing very good. I love Scott Laughton. He will turn it around. And a first-rounder for a right-handed shot, 4-point defenseman. We got to be healthy come playoff time. And if Matthews is not, he should just sit out. We can win without him for the time being.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just, I don't know. It's tough to watch.
I have zero confidence going into playoffs. There's still, I think it's a month left of the season. And a lot of hockey left.
There's about 20 games left, 15 games.
I think it's like 15-ish around. I think it's exactly a month of the season, basically. Because when I'm in Vegas for the middle of April, I'm going to the last Vegas game of the season.
Oh, that's cool.
Or their last home game of the season. And I'm pissed because we booked it a while ago to play, and they're going to play Nashville, which beginning of the season, I thought Nashville was going to be nasty, and now they're like third last. So, but
it'd still be cool to see Stamkos.
Vegas. Oh, yeah. And Vegas, I mean, they're a good team. So, but yeah, I mean, Calgary got to win tonight. This is such a huge game. Wearing our St. Patty's jerseys. Calgary's been just they've been humming along like they're just a win-loss team, which I mean, fucking get you in the playoffs. So, but then Colorado, who I think Colorado to me is the favorite. They beat Dallas. They have so much more depth. Inniskog in practice looks like he's wheeling around. I don't know if you saw the highlight of him. He's skating. I mean, we've been seeing those clips for months.
I was laughing so hard at that. The fucking tweet where you tweeted out, like, I feel like I've seen this since 2020 or something like that. Yeah. And the guy replied, he was like, man, we haven't seen him skate like this. Like, he's flying around.
Like, fucking physiotherapist over here saying he hasn't fucking seen him skate. Also, like, someone tweeted, it's like this is giving me like Ben Simmons vibes.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons is for like a year. Like, oh, he's hitting up shots. He's looking good.
Oh, God.
But I love Landy. I don't know if you listened to his interview on Split Chicklets. Like, he is emotional. He wants to come back so badly. And again, he wasn't wearing a contactless jersey, the red jersey or whatever, which I think he always has worn. So, I mean, look into it if you want. If they can get him, that depth's insane. Makar is playing the best hockey. He secured the Norris. I think he secured the Norris already. Hughes, I thought, was the favorite, but Hughes has missed too many games now. The fact that Makar has 25 goals, which, by the way, 25 goals is more than, like, Crosby, Matthews. It's a lot more than a lot of guys.
Ridiculous. That one video of him skating back. I can't remember who they... they're playing Calgary. He skates back, dives down, makes sure the guy can't pass it, goes back to the other end, dishes it off, goal. God.
He just flies. And
it's ridiculous.
Chris Pronger was asked recently, do you think Hughes is better than Makar? And he basically said, like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, he's close. Like, Hughes is a superstar defenseman, superstar. And honestly, at one point in the season before he got hurt, he was probably the Norris favorite. But Makar is just, I think he solidified it.
I don't know.
And I think Draisaitl is the MVP. I think it's between him or Hellebuck. Not that I know McKinnon leads league in points, but if you look at who McKinnon's playing with, and look at who Draisaitl's playing with, if you're like, oh, like Draisaitl plays with McDavid, it's like, yeah, on the power play, but like on the second line, plays like Victor Arvidsson and like Jeff Skinner. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So McKinnon plays with, did play with Mikko Rantanen and now Martin Necas. Jonathan Drouin, bound to
lighting it up.
Yeah, so
it's ridiculous. It
is put up points, but like I think Draisaitl is the MVP. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hellebuck won it either. Hellebuck is by far the Vezina winner and Winnipeg's first in the NHL. So I mean, they don't like giving it to goalies. I think the last goalie was Carey Price in 2015. Then before that, it was like Jose Theodore in like 2002. So I mean, not a lot of goalies win it, but I would like to see. I would hate seeing Hellebuck win the MVP. But have you been seeing a lot of this kind of like? I'm on Twitter all the time, but the Carolina Rantanen drama, Carolina fans want to murder this guy.
I mean, like, respectfully, I understand where they're coming from. Like, the way that I view it, I don't view it the same because it's not the same situation. But, like, the whole Stephon Diggs drama with the Bills, I'm not going to lie. There's part of me that was like, God, I hope you never succeed ever again in your life.
That's a different story, though.
It is a different story.
Because, like, he was traded. He no clue he was traded. Just because Colorado gave him this final number, they didn't want to match that number. Like, make around didn't want to that number, so Colorado's like, okay, we're not going to cover our losses, and the made a good trade. And he apparently, according to Rod Brindamore, he said right away, this is not one of the four teams.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want him to do? And it's like, again, like, I think we talked about last two podcasts. It's like, you're talking about a guy who lived in Colorado for 10 years, Stanley Cup champion, was a perennial, like, Stanley Cup favorite, and he gets traded to, like, I don't know how, like, basically almost across the country or quite a bit far away, and you're asking him to sign an 8-year deal within 2 weeks, 2 weeks to a month.
It is.
I don't blame him at all. I understand they're mad at him.
I don't blame him. I can see why they're mad at him, but also at the same time, I can't blame them. Like, I can
No.
see kind of both sides of it, you know?
No.
As a fan, you get so excited. Like, your hopes get so high. You're like, oh, my God, I can't believe that we just got Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah.
And then all of that within the next following 2 weeks turns out to, no, he's just going to get flipped again. Got flipped to a good team and hasn't been kind of himself, I don't think. But also, we've talked about it in the last 2 podcasts as well. It's like, it's so tough as, forget an athlete, as an individual to go through such crazy life changes. You get traded to Carolina, you pick up your things, you move across, like halfway across the country, and then get there and you're like, yeah, no, this is not, like, I didn't sign up for this. This is not what I wanted. Yeah. And then you get traded again, and it's like, yeah, you're going to be affected mentally from what's going on. Like, there's no way that you can avoid that, you know?
And it's,
but
he's definitely playing better on Dallas, and I don't know, just they're, again, so he's like, I think he's like 27, 28. So it's like, this is his last, you could argue this is his last contract. I mean, not saying players are done when they're 35, 36, but like he's going to make like vet minimum or like a lower end deal by that time. So like, this is his last deal, really.
Last big deal, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, and Dallas, I mean, with the state tax and like how good their young guys, like Wyatt Johnson and that. It's a great situation. And players have so much power nowadays, like we've talked about before. Like he's like, these are the 4 days I want to go to, is because this is where I would likely sign in the offseason. So if you want to get a haul of a deal, then I'm telling you right now. And so they did. So I don't know.
Can't wait to talk about power in the NFL. Good Lord.
Yeah, there's not going to be a ton of hockey talk today. I mean, the trade deadline passed. So, I mean, the Leafs just suck right now. And they got to be better. And I don't know. Marner's still looking good. Nylander is scoring like as he does, like clutch goals, but
having Tana back is huge.
That is huge. So this is a huge game tonight. Huge game. Like, even if we can snag, so there's 8 points up for grabs. If we can grab like 5 or 6, I know it's asking for a lot, but if we can grab 5 or 6 in these next 4 games, that's massive. That's such a big.
When you know that we're a cup contending team, those 4, 5, 6 points won't seem like a lot. The problem now is like I feel like the Leaf season goes the exact same way. It's like you come out hot, start the season hot, hit a bit of a lull, get back to kind of where you were at the start, and then kind of
into playoffs is kind of like
taper off a little bit. And then going into playoffs is always other than fucking 1 year, it's always a crazy series where it goes to 7, and it's like, okay, if you get through this series, you're riding such momentum, and then they either never get through the series or they get through it once and lose.
Yeah, so it's so big, and we just need a big dog to step up. For
Leafs fans, I'm not like crazy pessimistic, and I know that I'm not a huge hockey guy, but like, it's just a tough time of year.
It's horrible. I also didn't need it. This is the toughest year we had because as a Bills fan, we had the AFC Championship. Then I had to go right into the 4 Nations. I know Canada won, but that anxiety was ridiculous, and that nervousness was ridiculous. And now, going into this, now we have the playoffs coming in a month. So
thank God we don't like basketball, because March Madness would destroy. I'd probably have a heart attack by the time I'm 35.
I did like our office pool. I just kind of picked teams. I'm keeping I'm looking at teams, and I can kind of, like I said, Duke will win it because I think they're number 1 seed. I said Duke, Michigan State in the final.
I just don't give a fuck. I know people really care. Like, I used to run the office pool, like the bracket. I used to be into it, but I just don't care. Hockey, football, and golf are just on such a different level.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you could argue that like March Madness is almost bigger than the NBA.
Oh, 100%. Well, you can argue that the national championship in football is bigger than the Super Bowl. I know some players will say that. I know it's ridiculous to say. I know like the Super Bowl is more global, but I mean the passion these like college fans and college kids, it's on a different level. Yeah. Because like these towns they're not big towns, right? Yeah. Like Alabama, like all these like, LSU, like they're not big towns. So it's basically every single person there is at the game. Yeah, quick tidbit. A guy who I work with actually went to Texas A&M when Johnny Manziel was there. Really? Yeah. He said it was a fucking He said it was insane. He's insane. That's crazy. Yeah, he's the coolest experience ever. All right, well, wrapping with hockey here. Just we got to get at least 5 or 6 points out of these last 8 games, or the next 4 games here. Like Calgary, I mean, yeah, they're a hungry team, but we should beat them. Colorado, I can accept the loss there. One of the best games of the year last time we played them, so hopefully we can keep that up. New York, again, same kind of situation. Calgary's in right on that bubble. And Nashville, if we don't at least beat Nashville, I'll fucking
for the
lose
love
my
of God,
mind.
just stomp Nashville.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, no. Quickly back on the Twitter. I get in beefs every now and then because I like to explain my point. So Domi recently came out. This is before the Florida game, and said it was basically like, how do you how big of a game is this? Because like you against the Florida game, like want to win the Atlantic. And he said we don't give a shit about that. We're trying to win every game, which I understand in hindsight is the exact same thing. Really, like it's really the same thing. But I tweeted saying like I understand this is the same thing, but I wouldn't mind if they accepted the importance of winning the Atlantic. It is huge. I know it's like in the playoffs, you got to win every game. Like every team's good in the playoffs. I understand that. But like it's huge because also your home ice advantage throughout the whole playoffs, or at least for half of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it is a big deal.
It is.
Honestly, I'm just as scared as playing Ottawa as I am Florida, so it's not that's the point. It's the home ice advantage, round out. And like this guy's like, oh, doesn't fucking matter. It's the same thing. It's like, I understand it's the same thing. I understand it is. But I'm saying I wouldn't hate a little like importance of like this is an important thing.
You gotta think though as well. Like the players are obviously media trained. Like they're not gonna give in.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to know that in the locker room before the game, there's got to be a little something extra. You know, especially like when you look at like the pace of the games there when they're playing these teams that are certified. Like the pace of the Colorado game's crazy. The pace of the Florida game was crazy. Yeah. You know, like the pace of these games is through the roof. That like obviously they know there's a little something extra, but I'm not going to go out. Like, if I was Max Domi, I would not go out and be like, oh, yeah, this is huge. But also, I get where you're coming from, too.
I get it. All right, so moving on to the NFL. A ton of signings, a lot of money getting thrown around there.
Lots of money.
Lots of money. We're just going to basically go... we're going to go basically this is like... I was really just at work, and every time a new deal would come on, I would quickly go to the document and write it down so I wouldn't forget it. So this is basically in order of just timing of it. So probably the biggest deal so far of the offseason, DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second-round pick, and he immediately signed a 5-year, $150 million deal. He's teaming up with his fellow crash-out George Pickens.
And changed his number.
What did he change it to? Oh, because Pickens is 14, right?
Said George Pickens is creating a legacy with... or something about a legacy or something like that with 14 in Pittsburgh, which...
He's fucking creating nothing.
Okay, all right. George Pickens is a good wide receiver. He just has some fucking anger issues on the field.
No, he's a good wide receiver. I don't think he has a legacy already.
But like this move for DK I like, but also at the same time, it's like they don't have... They signed Mason Rudolph and fucking... like, I can't even remember who else. They signed another quarterback.
I don't even know.
And it's like... Okay, sick. But yeah, like, if they land Aaron Rodgers, cool. If they don't, if they land Aaron Rodgers, that works out well for DK and George Pickens because the deep ball. But also at the same time, you're landing a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Or you go again with Russ, who played well towards the, like, throughout the year, but didn't play amazing. You know, it's like... Yeah. Unless they think they can draft a young quarterback, but, like, I don't know. I didn't see Pittsburgh coming. Whatsoever. I thought maybe the Rams. Yeah. I thought maybe, I
thought Vegas maybe.
I thought Vegas too with the Geno move. Like it's, but you know what? Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame head coach, Super Bowl wins, amazingly defensive minded coach. Like unbelievable. Like I don't know. It just seemed a little weird to me.
Yeah, and like. So I think they're the favorites to get Rodgers, even though I thought Rodgers already signed there, but I think Rodgers is still contemplating retirement. But I mean, I shouldn't say I love Aaron Rodgers. He can kind of piss me off at times, but again, he's like a Hall of Fame quarterback, arguably top 5 all time. But like, is Aaron Rodgers right now that much better than bringing back Russ? I mean, I think he is, but is it that much of a difference for like?
I don't know. The way I see it is just a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid to not actually. This is. Other than fucking having Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers have kind of gone through the quarterback gauntlet. Like Kenny Pickett was there, didn't really pan out, didn't have the best offensive coordinator. Like, it's like, and then you had Mason Rudolph for a little bit. You had the Hodges kid. Like, it's kind of been always a little back and forth. And then you had Justin Fields, which I'm not super pumped about Justin Fields going to the fucking Jets. I think he actually could do well on the Jets.
I think so too.
Now, again, it is the New York Jets.
They'll somehow fuck it up.
But at the same time, amazing roster. So it's like, I don't know. I think Pittsburgh's going to have to figure out the quarterback position. Other than that, I don't know. DK got the bag. Good for him.
Yeah, he definitely got the bag. Another wide receiver, Devontae Adams to LA. I definitely didn't see the Rams in the mix for Devontae. 2 years, $46 million for 2 years, Devontae Adams.
I kind of saw it because they're going to probably either draft a young quarterback. They re-signed Jimmy G for another year, which I don't know if he'll ever be a full-on starter again in the NFL, unless that's the way that the Rams go. But you got Matt Stafford back again a year. And Matt Stafford, you saw what he did last year. Like, they were kind of out of it. And then come playoff time, won a wild card game. Had to go into the link to play a crazy game. For Devontae at this point, it's about getting a Super Bowl. And I think realistically with the Rams defense and losing Cooper Kupp, having Puka Nacua, and then adding Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua is kind of that gadget receiver that can run a ton of different routes, can get open, can go out of the backfield, and Devontae is your downfield threat. And I think it's a great addition for their offense. The Rams will be just the Rams again next year. They'll be, I think they'll probably have a better record, just considering Devontae, but they're gonna get into the playoffs. I think.
Yeah,
I hope.
I think so too.
I want Matt Stafford in the playoffs. I have a soft spot for Matt Stafford.
Yeah, and then next up on our list, our boy, our Lord and Savior, signed a ridiculous extension, a lot of money. He signed a 6-year, $330 million extension, $250 million guaranteed. He went from $43 million AAV to $55 million AAV. This is what I don't understand about NFL contracts. Congrats to Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. He's my favorite football player ever. I love him. He deserves all of it. He 100% deserves all of it. I just don't get how you can sign an extension when you have 4 years left on your contract. Does he have 4 years left?
He had 4 years left. He had an MVP season. He's going to get paid MVP money. You had Deshaun Watson, who obviously the contract got restructured and blah, 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 but he got more. You have all these other quarterbacks that are getting so much money. At some point, for Josh, as good of a person as he may seem, it's going to eat away at you. You're an MVP. Like, without him, the Bills are fucking dog shit. He elevated everyone around him. And do I think they could have waited till they signed James Cook and Christian Benford? Yeah, probably. But at the end of the day, he deserves it, what he said afterwards too, of I like that, $5 million less. Like, he obviously is working to make sure that they're going to get the pieces in place.
Yeah.
Now, their offseason and the free agency has been good, not great, but I think it's been pretty good considering how far they went last year with the team that they had. I don't think they want to shake up too much stuff with inside the building. I'm pretty happy with kind of how everything's kind of gone. I don't mind re-signing DeMar for another year. He was pretty good at the end of the season, so kind of see where that pans out. I didn't see them trading Kyer Elam, but I won't lie, I like that trade. You got some picks from the Cowboys, kind of give him a fresh start. He was a first-round pick. I like Kyer Elam, but, his track record wasn't amazing. He wasn't going to get
in that Chiefs game.
He wasn't going to get a ton of playing time, especially behind Benford. So, yeah, I understand why they did it. Do I think they could have maybe re-signed Benford and Cook first? Yeah. Considering the Derek Stingley deal.
I just thought the timing was weird. And
it was the middle of free agency, and
especially in a huge offseason after MVP year, a game where you were a touchdown away from going to the Super Bowl, and you need to make some big moves this offseason. I just thought it was weird timing, especially now. He said Derek Stingley just signed 3 years, $90 million. Benford can definitely get that same type of money. So I thought it was just odd timing for the whole situation. But again, definitely deserves it. If Dak makes $60 million a year, Josh Allen could easily make $60 million a year. So we got him for 6 more years. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
End of the day, we have him for 6 more years, right?
Yes.
So
yeah. I'm not upset. I just when I saw the Josh Allen thing third, I was like, God, I'm not going to be able to stop talking about the Bills.
Yeah. Well, another Bills move, they signed Brampton native Josh Palmer to a 3-year, $36 million deals. Came off a, I guess, solid season with the Chargers. I think he had like 800 yards or 800 yards, something like that.
No, he had like 500 to 600 yards and like a touchdown, 39 receptions.
Never mind.
Like my thing with Josh Palmer is that I think same thing. Change of scenery be good. He played like behind Keenan Allen for, I want to say like a year or two. I don't know how long he's been in the league. I think it's a good addition. The way that I see it is you now have someone who can beat man coverage one-on-one on the outside, and that's huge. The Bills really haven't kind of had that other than Stephon Diggs and Keon Coleman going into his second year. You want someone else who's been in NFL caliber games, played. Obviously, Keon's been in NFL caliber games, but played with a really good quarterback as well in Justin Herbert. I like the move. I think it's smart. I think that he really could thrive. I think him being in Buffalo, like he said, it feels like he signs with a Canadian team. Obviously, a lot of Bills fans north of the border just due to proximity, especially in Ontario. So, yeah, like I think it's a good signing. Would I have given him the 3 years? Probably not.
Yeah.
I probably would have given him 2. But, obviously, that's why I'm not an NFL GM and Brandon Beane gets paid. Big baller Beane, baby.
Big baller Beane. Another big move by the Bills, Joey Bosa, 1 year, $12 million. I thought he was for sure going to the 49ers. I thought it was a lot.
This fucked me up. So he got offered $8 million from the Steelers, I think. He got offered $10 million from the 49ers, and he chose 12.6 to go with the Bills for a year. Which, again, it's kind of like a Von Miller signing, but not the 6-year, $120 million extension when he's older. Yeah. Like, Joey Bosa is obviously injury prone. Can get after the quarterback, no doubt. 100%.
Six-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, no doubt. All pro. I really think that if he can stay off the IR, he'll be amazing. Like, he will, especially, like, he'll kind of have, I don't think he'll have the exact same role as Von Miller. I think he'll play a little bit more on second down. But I think he'll play third and long, second and long, those pass rushing downs where you need someone who can get to the quarterback. You need someone who can put that quarterback in the ground. And I like it. For the fact that we were able to, like, I was saying to Kevin, my brother, I was like, dude, if it was me and I got offered $10 million to come and play with you, I don't care if the team's horrible. I'm going to come and play with you for $10 million. I would not give a fuck. But I think he's obviously at this point in his career, he's chasing a ring. And San Fran's kind of in a bit of turmoil. Like, it's getting to the point of, like, are they just going to strip it down before the season starts so they don't have to deal with is it time to strip it down? So I understand where he's coming from. I was just a little surprised, but I was pumped up about it.
Yeah, I think if he can stay healthy, like, that's a huge addition to that defensive line. That's a game breaker that we can have in the playoffs that the Bills have desperately needed. So, yeah, again, it depends on health, but I was happy with the end of the day for it. I'm happy it wasn't like a 4-year or anything like that. I'm happy with the 1-year deal.
Yeah, I think they learned from the Von Miller thing. Like, the Von Miller thing was smart seemed smart at the time, obviously, before the injury. But you can see kind of, especially with you're now getting a player that I don't even think he played the last 6-7 games of the year. He was on IR, so. Yeah.
A guy that I didn't expect the Bills to lose, I didn't even know about it till I saw a video of him walking into the press conference. Matt Collins to the Patriots. I don't even know how much it was. I didn't even know he left until I saw that press conference video of him walking, obviously barefooted.
I think it was a 1-year deal. Let me see.
Yeah, a guy who I loved. I mean, he stepped up big moments in the playoffs. I was shocked to see him go. But maybe the Bills just couldn't pay him what the Patriots paid him.
Yeah, I don't think they would have been able to. Like, at the end of the day, he's 31. Obviously, amazing team guy, culture fit overall, pretty, like, just a kind of team guy,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think at the end of the day, the way that the Bills are viewing this is they can bring in younger guys. They kind of need to get a younger wide receiver core. They signed Shakir to the extension. They have Coleman, who's young. They bring in Josh Palmer, and you're going to draft probably a wide receiver in the draft this year. So it's like, at the end of the day, that kind of going out, getting an older receiver, it's kind of been there, done that a little bit, and it's time to kind of build off what you have. You obviously know that Josh Allen's going to elevate whoever's around him. Yeah. So, it sucks. To be honest, I wish Mac nothing but the best. He's made the year, watching him in the game with a Patriot or the Ravens-Bills game in the divisional round was a highlight of my year. Being able to actually watch him live, being able to see how the players react to Mr. Brightside. He's just a character guy who I forever am grateful that he would put on the Bills uniform,
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's just rapid fire some of these other moves. I mean, J.C. Horn, 4-year, $100 million extension with Panthers.
Wild.
I mean, it's a lot of money, but he's a sick player. And, the Panthers, they had an insane kind of second half for that season. Bryce Young started to figure it out. If they can get some more weapons, bolster that defense along with J.C. Horn, I think that they're going to be a solid team. They were kind of turning into the Bengals at the end of the year. They were either losing or winning games 35-32.
Yeah.
So if they can kind of bolster that defense, Bryce Young, Adam Thielen had a great end of the season. He's getting older, but I don't know. We'll see how they kind of do next season. Chris Godwin, 3 years, $66 million after basically ripping his leg off against, I don't know what team it was. He's one of the all-time greats for the Bucks, but it was against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Hopefully, again, I like Tampa. Like Baker, go Baker. We'll see how he bounced back after that injury. But Seattle making some moves. Our buddy Chris is a big Seattle fan. Sam Darnold, 3 years, $100 million to Seattle after the Geno Smith release, as well as bringing in Cooper Kupp. Did you see what the term was for Cooper Kupp?
It's a 3-year deal. I'm not sure the money. But the Sam Darnold move, while you're looking it up, is I like it. I like it for Sam. I get where the Vikings are coming from. J.J. McCarthy, you draft him. You want him to actually progress. I just really hope Sam Darnold can, put it together in Seattle. It's with Jackson Smith and the Jigba, and now you have Cooper Kupp. That's the thing that I was a little worried about. I was wondering what they were going to do at wide receiver. You can't put it all on Jackson Smith and the Jigba.
No, he's good, but he's not going to take over just yet. He's a good speedy guy down the wing, but I don't know. But I agree. I don't know what if Vikings even offered Darnold anything. They maybe offered him a 1-year deal. Hey, if you want to stay, maybe a 1-year deal and just play behind or play with JJ. But I don't know. I feel like they're just ready to rock with JJ and see how. Because again, they have I would say a top 10 O-line. Top 5 receiver core, probably even higher. So they're probably thinking hey, maybe we can throw any guy in this system and maybe we can do what Sam Darnold did. But I think that playoff game really deteriorated his chances of going back to Minnesota.
You look at, I think it really has to do with the head coach. Kevin O'Connell obviously won Coach of the Year for a reason. You saw what Kirk Cousins did while he was there, and then you saw what Kirk Cousins did in Atlanta. It's night and day difference. So, I don't know. We'll see. I really hope he does nothing but the best, and coming up on a fucking Bob Does Sports video. So.
Apparently that one's really good because apparently that was that middle of free agency and Josh Allen just signed that deal. Apparently Darnold had taken multiple phone calls during that course, so I'm excited to watch that one. But you said Kirk Cousins. You see how much he's made in the NFL?
No,
he's made almost $500 million.
Yeah, he's very well. He's kind of going through it with Atlanta right now. It's
Apparently, he might stay. I don't know what they may restructure it. I don't know.
Atlanta says they don't want to actually, they don't want to get rid of him. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I love Kirk Cousins. Is he that guy anymore? Probably not. But he's seems like the nicest guy in the world.
Kirk Chains, baby.
Yes, sir. But and that Cooper Kupp was 3 years, $45 million, so $15 a year. That's
deserving. It makes sense.
Yeah, I cannot picture him in a Seattle jersey. I can picture Devontae in a Rams jersey. I cannot picture Cooper in a Seattle Seahawks.
No, it's going to be weird.
But other deals, Hassan Reddick, a 1 year, $14 million at Tampa.
Yeah, you kind of saw the writing was on the wall that he was going to be moving on from the Jets.
Justin Fields, 2 years, $40 million to the Jets. I think it's a great move for the Jets. I think it's a great move for Fields. I mean, I think when we talked about it last podcast, when we were kind of breaking down the NFL draft, I mean, you got Garrett Wilson. If you can get like that Warren guy from Penn State or something, I mean, bolster that O-line. I don't know how good their O-line is, but I think he can really succeed. You saw when he played some snaps at Pittsburgh. I mean, they basically played him on like a 4th and 2 kind of situation, but I think he has the arm talent. If you kind of put him in the right situation, I think he can really ball out. I mean, with the Chicago, he had great numbers. It's just they wanted to move on. So, I mean, I think he can thrive in there, maybe under Aaron Glenn. I know Aaron Glenn's more of a defensive-minded coach, but
I don't
see
know.
how it goes.
It's scary to me. The Jets the last 2 years have had a good roster. They've just shit the bed. And it's just like, this is kind of the year where it's like, okay, you should have a pretty good roster. You have amazing Aaron Glenn. I really love as a defensive-minded head coach. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little scary to me. I really hope they're just the fucking Jets and there's still only one team in New York.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it'll be a drastic change, but I think we'll start to see a little bit more improvements. I don't think they're expected to be that much better next year, but I can see them making at least the games, like it's not like you're just embarrassing. Like they're close games and you're actually putting on a show.
A hot take, I think they'll make a wild card spot.
Hey, I wouldn't.
I think it's a toss up, to be honest, considering like Miami is good and I think they'll be good. Considering
Tyreek Hill to have a bounce back year.
Yeah, so. Considering the moves, I think it could be. I don't know. The Patriots is tough because Patriots spent over $289 million in free agency already.
Got Milton from the Eagles. They got a ton of guys.
Yeah, their team looks pretty good. It's just whether or not Drake May can actually go out there and put it all together, kind of like he did this year. Like,
don't they have a pretty crappy O line though? Weren't they? Isn't their biggest issue O-line, but they haven't signed like a single O-lineman or like one guy or something? They
signed a few guys, I think. I can't remember fully, but they signed with they bolstered their defense. Their
defense is really good.
Yeah, like Spillane, the linebacker from Las Vegas. I love him. He's an amazing linebacker. I just really think it really depends on Drake May's development. Yeah. And yeah, it just depends on what version of Tua we get. I think the Bills win the AFC East, and then it's, in my opinion, it's either going to be like Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, or Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. Like the Jets might just shit the bed.
Just like should be the Jets, yeah. And also the Patriots too. Just bringing in. I know they're not on the field, but like bringing in Vrabel, bringing back McDaniels. So I think that could be huge, especially Vrabel. I think he will really bring a nice culture to that locker room. That just Jared Mayo just didn't seem to get through to guys. I don't think they really thrived under him, but I'm not sure.
I think it was just a panic move a little bit.
I think it was a panic move. I don't think...
I don't think he got a fair share. Like, Gerard Mayo, I love as an actual football player and as an assistant. I think he was great. I think it's just a panic move. You don't see too many guys go straight, obviously, unless you're in the organization. I think the Patriots are just more of like a traditional organization, try to keep it from within. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Some other moves here is wrapping up. Let's see. Josh Sweat, 4 years, $75 million to the Cardinals. I don't care. Grady Jarrett, 3 years, $43.5 million to the Bears. If the Bears weren't in the toughest division in football, I think they could make some big moves. I mean, you obviously have the Vikings, who could either have just as good as a year last year or take a slight dip with J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, you have the Lions. Obviously, you have the Packers, who, I mean, if a healthy Jordan Love could either have a 12-win season. But the Bears, man, they got 3 linemen. They got Thuney. I don't know who the other guys are, but they bolster their lineup. This is what the teams need to start doing with their young quarterback. They think they need more weapons. No, give them more time in the pocket.
Man.
Give them an O-line and just give them time to find their guys. You don't need more weapons.
The Bears free agency, like, I would go like B+, A-.
Yeah,
I think the way that they did it is...
You see that photo of Ben Johnson? He looked dead.
That was insane.
5 o'clock shadow, his hair is in his face. He's just like, he's been grinding. You can tell he's been grinding.
Yeah, lots of late nights with Caleb.
Yeah. and he's learned from the Lions. He knows how, like, Jared Goff's a great quarterback, but he knows how important an offensive line is. If you give your young quarterback time, he will find someone. And I think that's what they did. And I mean, Grady Jarrett, I think I don't know how many Pro Bowls he's had with Atlanta, a solid career. I think he's had some injury issues. Bolster that defense. So again, if they weren't in the NFC North, I think maybe they could have a better result next season, but I think they're going to be a lot more exciting team to watch, and I actually hope they do well, even though I'm somewhat of a Lions fan as well. But I hope they have a good season. I like when these historic teams do well. I don't like when
I think it might be a bit of a toss up in the North.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I mean, I could see that. I mean, even though if Jordan Love has injury issues, I could see the Bears being passed.
Yeah, I think it could be a toss up.
I don't think that the Packers have made too many moves. I'm not too sure. I think they signed maybe one guy. I don't even know who he was, but yeah. Moving along here, a few more moves. Najee Harris, 1-year deal with the Chargers. That was weird. I didn't think he was going to resign
J.K.
at
Dobbins.
Pittsburgh,
They have Gus Edwards. Like fuck.
But C.J. Gardner-Johnson to Houston. Daniel Jones to the Colts. Playing the parade.
It's a fucking toilet bowl of a fucking quarterback competition. You've got fucking Daniel Jones and the goddamn Anthony Richardson.
The only reason more than half a game.
The only reason I like the Colts is there's this guy on TikTok, and he sings this song before every Colts team or every Colts game and after every Colts game, and he's like, "This is our Colts, this is our team," and that gets me fired up. I love that. That gets me exciting. It gets me fired up. He was the fan of the year. They sent him to the Super Bowl. No, that gets me fired up.
That's cool. All right, I'm hearing rumors that maybe Ayuk to the Browns. I think the 49ers are truly just trying to unload cap. The only guy I can see them not trading is Trent Williams and Joey Bosa. Those are probably the two untouchables. But I can see them moving on from Brandon Ayuk, just like that massive deal. The Browns would make sense, but I don't know. Like, obviously, they're probably going to draft like a Cam Ward. I think it's going to be Abdul Carter than Cam Ward or something else. I don't know what left the Browns have to trade. We'll see. But,
a whole bunch of massage therapists from Deshaun.
Yeah, you got a couple.
Got a few.
Wrapping up here with the two massive extensions that just happened. I think it was today or late last night. Jamar Chase, 4 years, $161 million extension. He's now the highest paid non-quarterback. How many times have we heard this offseason the new highest paid? Is it 3 times? It was Max Crosby, then Myles Garrett.
Oh,
now
maybe
it's Jamar
4.
Chase. Who else? Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, Jamar Chase. Was there another?
No, there's not. Not that I can think of.
But anyways, then T. Higgins at the same time, another 4-year, $112 million extension.
The Bengals don't give a fuck about defense. They want to score 45 on you every single game.
And you're going to lose by 50.
Man, it's like, fuck, man. It's like their defense is not horrible. Did you hear what they were asking for Trey Hendrickson? So teams were calling. Apparently they're asking for a first overall and other players back. So they're asking for a number 1 pick. Or not a first overall, sorry. Like a first round pick.
Yeah.
They're asking for a first round pick and some players back. It's like, man, yes, he's an amazing pass rusher. He led the league in sacks. Really, really good. But teams are not willing to trade you for number 1, like an overall or a first round pick and other players. Like, it's kind of, unless it's an absolutely generational player, which I think Trey Hendrickson is an amazing player, amazing rusher, gets to the passer 100%. But unless it's like a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby or one of these big names that you hear about all the time, respectfully, like, you don't hear about the Bengals and you don't hear about their defense all the time because they just got fucking 38, 40 scored on them every single fucking week. Yeah. Like, do something with your secondary. Figure it out. Yes, you have Joe Burrow, who is arguably top 3, top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Yes, you have 2 amazing wide receivers. Fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's offense wins games, defense wins championships.
Yes, sir. And it's just like, I saw this, so I think that they're saying the Cincinnati management is having one of the worst runs in like NFL history. Like, I can't remember the numbers. I wish I had the numbers, but it's like, if they played it correctly, like, it was like these numbers they could have re-signed these guys at. Like, Jamar Chase is making like 40.6 a year. If they played it correctly, they maybe could have got him to like, if they signed him a few years earlier, it could have been like a 37, like to what Jamar or Justin Jefferson makes. But I think Jefferson makes 37 or 36.
Yeah, 35.
35, and now Jamar Chase makes $5 million a year more than him because they panicked, they waited too long, and now, I mean, hey, is he worth it? Is he like had a Triple Crown season? Arguably, like, he was unbelievable. But you could have got him a lot better at a value in that, and same thing with T. Higgins. I mean, how much is T. Higgins? I don't know, 112 divided by
4.
4, but still, it's just,
It's
you gotta, it's now you're going to win games 95, or you're going to lose games 95 to 92. Like, it's just like, you can score at will, but your defense is going to get cooked. Really cooked. And it was like when they lost Jesse Bates to Atlanta a few years ago, an insane safety. You probably could have got him at a fair price as well, but they let him walk because they knew they'd have to pay Chase and Higgins. Like, it's just
they're fucking. I don't know. I have an underrated signing.
Ooh,
I have the Cooper Rush signing for Baltimore. Diversify their quarterback room a little bit. Gotta love it. I think Cooper Rush is an amazing backup. I really do. Considering
he played for Dallas, he had some good games.
He did.
Players,
he arguably played better than Dak. Like, it's like I really do think it's a good signing considering Lamar is really, really good. Has had some injuries in the past, and if you need someone to come in, he was kind of like the Tyler Huntley when Lamar dealt with those injuries that one year.
Yeah.
Like you need someone to come in, especially if you want to stay competitive, who can fit the mold of your game, and I think Cooper Rush can do that.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know if you have any more NFL talk. We kind of rapid fire through a lot of those extensions.
The fucking NFL owners like to give away millions and millions and millions of fucking dollars. It's like I was talking with the guys at work. It's like it's ridiculous when you look at like any type of look at any NHL contract and then you look like Jesus Christ.
It's not even close. Is there any other guys who are still in the market that haven't found a team yet? Like, who's like the top free agent right now?
Rogers. I don't know about Dre Greenlaw. I don't know if he signed somewhere.
I thought he did, actually.
I think there's still quite a few. Like, not.
Oh, Dre Greenlaw it was the Broncos.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
He got paid, too. I'm not sure. But,
the Broncos had a sneaky good at free agency.
They did.
To be quite honest,
they didn't do too much, honestly.
Most teams had a sneaky good free agency other than the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I think every team, honestly, assessed some of their needs. Maybe some needs they didn't need, but I think they assessed one of the needs they had at least besides.
You know what the Cowboys assessed? The Cowboys assessed, you know who we need to re-sign very first? Our long snapper.
Yep. Hey,
hello, Jerry Jones. Hello.
He's playing chess, man. We're all playing checkers. All right, moving on to golf. Incredible weekend of golf. It was awesome to watch. One of the best tournaments of the year. It's the 5th major, TPC Sawgrass. I came out with a victory. Suck on that. Fuck you. I'm now 4-3 in our series. Let me break down the scores here. So obviously I had Rory, who 5 under, 4 under, 1 over, but then 4 under in the last round. Getting a little scary in the last 3 holes there, but absolutely dominated in the playoff holes this morning.
That lag
that
lag putt on 18 in the final round to secure the par it's 72 feet. And he lagged it to like 6 or 7 and made par.
But his that par putt too he like lipped it in. It was close. It was a little nervous.
Holy shit. Yeah.
But Morikawa 2 under, 7 under, 5 over, but then 3 under. I think he still was like a top 10, top 15 finish. Xander struggled to say the least. Even 1 under, 5 over, then 9 over in round 4. So he lost it. Your top guy, who actually wasn't your top guy, but Scotty, 3 under, 2 under, even 1 over. He just can't seem to find the bottom of the hole. He is hitting the green every single shot. He's hitting every single fairway. He just cannot make a putt.
He's one of the best ball strikers. The tournaments that he wins, if you go back and watch, he putts the ball better than he ever has.
Yeah.
One of his bigger problems, obviously number 1 golfer in the world. Yeah. Amazing golfer, won a million times last year.
Yeah, I was still
But one of his problems that he has had consistently has been his putting. And when he went 3 under on the first day, his putting was really good. Yeah, 3 under is a good score, especially on that course. Now he obviously had guys, going 6,
and everything,
5 or 6, and that was the other thing too. Is like the second day. I'll rattle off the rest real quick. Ludwig was 1 under, even cut. Connors 1 under, 1 under, 6 under. 1 under.
So just solid start to the season for Connors. I love Corey Connors. Great pick by you. I thought I was chirping it, but great pick.
No, I love him. But like the difference in conditions in the second round or the third round on the Saturday, I woke up, turned it on. and there was no wind. Corey Connors and Danny Walker got in at 66, and that was the course low for the day. Then the wind starts clicking at 40 miles per hour, and these guys are struggling to find fairways and greens. And on this golf course, Kiz and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they kept talking. It's like, you have to practice the wedge shots around the greens, because finding these greens is going to be tough, especially with how thick that rough was. It was...
It was wet too. Like, it's, if you can get up and down, it's like, and those bunkers too, like those bunkers that are along the water. I forget what holes it is. Like, trying to hit that green from wet sand uphill, like 150 yards into the wind. Like, it's
those last 3 holes might be the best. Like, other than maybe the Masters, the best
for sure.
Like Augusta,
16 par 5 over the tree tee shot, water on the right, green bunkers all around it. Obviously, you have 17. Then 18 is such a daunting par 5 or par 4, water all on the
crazy.
right. Yeah. But yeah, it was tough. And that playoff was, I mean, even though how much I love Rory, I wouldn't have hated JJ Spawn to pull that out. But you guys think he has one PGA Tour win. I think it was either Valspar or Valero. I forget which one he won.
It was Valero.
It was a Valero. He played great. I mean, I think he was like 5 under through day 1 and then just 1 under even. So he kind of stayed with it the whole time. And you saw how confused he was when he got it into the water on hole 17 in the playoffs.
It was hilarious. Let me tell you something. Okay, I was all on the JJ Spawn train. I'm like, Rory is my number 1 favorite. I don't give a fuck about what anyone says about taking the phone out of the goddamn fans' hands. I don't care.
We're gonna talk about that later.
I don't care. My favorite player, JJ Spawn. I think on Sunday on the 9th hole, was on a sprinkler head in the bunker.
Oh, hilarious.
Then gets relief, proceeds to drop his ball again on another sprinkler head in the bunker, gets relief again, and gets to put the ball onto the grass.
Then he hits a dart. Then he hits a wedge to like 5 feet.
How is that a rule? Yes, use the rules. The rules are there 100%. To be used. Yeah, 100%. You see it all the time with fans getting upset. But when I saw that, I was a little taken aback. And then, as well, I think on the 16th, on the 3rd, or on the Saturday, I think it was the 16th, Alex Smalley was hitting. And he was hitting out of like the fairway or the rough on the left side. And even like Kisner was taken aback by it. As Alex Smalley hit, JJ Spawn ball was just on the green, and they hit at the same time. And Alex Smalley was definitely away. And I think it was probably just one of those things where it was like a little miscommunication. Maybe he didn't know. But also,
he might be in for a massive season. They kept saying that. I mean,
this is the first time in a very long time, or maybe ever, that he's won 2 times on American soil before the Masters.
I might be hammering him in Vegas on the Masters.
If he gets a green jacket,
I'll cry. I love Rory so much.
Oh my God.
Even though he may get some shots at later on this episode, but
I'm gonna roast the fuck out of you if you fucking roast Rory.
I will. It's already gonna happen. But I just want to talk about, do you see Morikawa's comments about, or sorry, it wasn't his comments, or I guess it was. So when he kind of lost Bay Hill to Henley, he kind of just, after the green, he just left and he didn't speak to any media or whatever. And then I think it was Rocco Mediante or some other Mediate or whatever. Also, if you ever want an interesting YouTube watch, go watch Rocco Mediate Tiger. I think it was 2008 playoff hole. Awesome. All right. He, again, Champions Tour, legend guy, and a few others called him out and said, like, you know, Arnold Palmer would be so mad at you, he would drag you, all this crap. And Morikawa basically, I love his response. He's basically like, I don't care. He's like, I don't regret anything I did. This is the same thing with Rory when he left the US Open after losing to Bryson. Yes, all commends to you if you stay there, congratulate the other guy, and show that respect. But at the same time, you know how emotional I can be. I have no fucking problem if I just leave. If I just left. You lost the biggest moment, arguably, in your life, right? I know Morikawa, not really, but the Rory one. Like, yeah, again, all the world to you if you do stay and shake hands and do that. But at the same time, you owe anyone nothing. Maybe you have a media obligation. Morikawa was like, I don't care. I am leaving. I don't have any issue with what he did. Again, If you did it, good for you. I wouldn't be able to do it. I think people are blowing this way out of proportion. And even he said, like, I just left. Sorry, I lost. Like, I have no obligation to talk to any of you guys. Like,
I agree. It's tougher in golf too because it's an individual sport, right?
For sure. Like, no one else can do it for you. It's all you, right? So, all right. Before we head out to the segments, we have the Valspar Championship. It's in Florida as well. I think I'm picking first.
Yeah,
you
picked
Scotty last time, right? Let me find the field here. It's a decent field. I low-key don't even hate picking amateur Luke Clanton, who just secured his card. But I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, pick him first.
Let's see. A lot of guys struggled. Like, Victor Hovland hasn't found his game yet. Hideki had a very tough time in round 1. He was like 6 or 7 over. He was tough to watch. Really want to pick Xander because he's had a tough start, but it is fucking Xander Schauffele. Yeah, give me Xander. He's gonna turn it around. And maybe he's not Valspar, but I love Xander. I love cheering for him. So I'll go with Xander.
Give me Justin Thomas.
I was gonna pick Justin Thomas. Give me Jordan Spieth. I think Jordan Spieth is arguably, no matter what year it is, probably one of my favorite golfers just to watch because what he can do around the green sometimes. He's one of the nicest swings I've ever seen. I love Jordan Spieth, so give me Jordan Spieth.
Give me Shane Lowry.
You know what? He's running a high. Give me Corey Connors. Yeah, I've never picked a Canadian yet, so give me Corey Connors.
Give me Lucas Glover.
He had a great showing.
Dude, he's played well. Ever since he went viral for having swamp ass in a round that was like super hot, he has played very well.
I remember that. I think it was like the cops just like, for the love of God, please let PGA players wear shorts.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this is where a fight might happen. So, penalty box. My penalty box, even though I love him, he's one of my favorite golfers ever. I'll pray he wins a Masters, and I'd be damned that like I could bet any money that I think he's 37. He will win another major before he's 40. I can bet any money on that. He had 3 instances where I thought were a little questionable in the past week or so. Maybe I'm being a hardo, maybe I'm being hard on him. I'm hard on him because I care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't care. You know what I mean? I expect the most. I was on the phone. So his comments on the Champions Tour, I thought were a bit odd. He said, something has went terribly wrong if I had to compete at golf at 50. I also think he's at the stage of his career where he doesn't really give a shit, which all the world to you. But I think Ernie Els and a lot of these guys who, talking about Ernie Els, I don't know how many majors he has. He has 2 Masters, I'm pretty sure. One of the best of all time, Big Easy, right? They all said, like, we're not playing golf for the money. Like, I think a winner's check is a couple $100,000, I'm pretty sure, in the Champions Tour. On PGA, it's like a couple million. So, I'm not saying that's zero money, but these guys have made their money. They love it because they love traveling and playing golf. Clearly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know how old Ernie Els is. I think he's in his 50s, obviously, because I think the Champions Tour starts at 50, I'm pretty sure. I thought those comments were kind of weird. I think Rory's at that stage where he doesn't give a shit. So he's like, yeah, I don't. If I want to be done at 50, I don't want to be anywhere competitive golf. But I think he could have worded it a bit better, being like, hey, like I think when he said have went terribly wrong, I think that was poor wording. I think he could have said like, yeah, I'm hoping with how much I've accomplished in the PGA Tour in the next 13, 12 years that I don't really have the urge to go on the Champions Tour. I think that's a better way you could have said it. So that's point 1 of Rory. Do you have any comment you want to say?
No, I'll save it for after. I'm keeping a log.
The YouTube golf comments, again, I think this was hilarious, and this is probably at the bottom of the 3 points. He just said, like, I'd rather watch the players duke it out over a YouTube golf championship. That's not even in my penalty box. I thought it was kind of funny, but again, a lot of people watch YouTube golf. Like, Grant Horvat is getting hundreds of thousands. Bryson DeChambeau is getting millions of views.
Yeah,
so
it's just a generational thing.
Again, it's the same thing with the top comment. He's saying stuff that he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? So I thought the phone thing was a little ridiculous on his part. You're in a practice round. Yes, you've had a lot of scrutiny over the last few years. You can't win another major. What was his last major? Was it 2011?
2014.
14 was it the US Open?
Either US Open or the PGA. I don't think it was PGA.
Practice round at TPC. Wasn't 17. It was one of the other front 9, I think. He hit into the water. And the college kid, I think he's from Texas, he said, just like the Masters in 2011 or something, when it was Rory's famous blow-up hole when it was like his third year pro, which would have one of the fastest Grand Slams ever, basically. Like, he was like dominant at that point. It's the only major he hasn't won. And it was after he swung, right? It wasn't during the swing. And Rory just went up to him, grabbed the phone. He said, "Can I see your phone?" Took it and left. He left. I don't know if the kid got that phone back, so I'm not sure. I'm all for like saying something. First off, this kid just willingly gave him his phone. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not giving you my phone. I'd rather just, if the person's like, you gotta leave, okay, I'll leave. I'm not giving you my fucking phone. And now, I don't know, you hear, this kid has to write a letter to the PGA Tour. He has to write a letter to Rory apologizing, and he's going to be like suspended some games or some matches in PGA. Because he's like I think he's like I won't say a top golfer, but I think he plays for Texas. His coach said he was just so disappointed and disgusted at everything. Like, come on, was it that serious? Like, I love Rory. I don't want any shade, but like, are you serious?
It's not that serious, but also at the same time, like, there's a bit of fault on both sides. Obviously, the kids come out and apologized. Yeah, but like, get it together a little bit. At the end of the day, like, yeah, Rory probably shouldn't have took the phone and walked away with it. Also, the kid just willingly giving his phone up, wild behavior.
I tweeted it. I'm like, you just gave him your phone? I'll be like, I'm leaving.
Yeah, wild behavior.
But also, it is crazy for a kid who could make the PGA Tour to say that to a future Hall of Fame golfer or already Hall of Fame golfer.
A Sherlock for the Hall of Fame. And at the end of the day, like, you're bringing up something that happened over 10 plus years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, if I'm Rory at that point, am I going to go take the phone? This is probably why I'm not on the PGA Tour. I would have taken the phone and probably Gronk spiked it in front of the kid's face and said, how about that? Like, the problem, I think this goes to just the problem with, like, kind of our world today where, like, people are used to just saying shit and
no consequences.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
It's like Mike Tyson said, it's like a famous quote is like, people are too comfortable saying stuff without getting punched in the fucking face. And it's like, obviously, if Rory punched him in the face, that's a different story. I don't think he probably should have taken the phone. But at the end of the day, like, it's fuck around and find out. Like, yeah, you're heckling golfers, whatever. It's a fucking practice round.
Yeah, I get it.
And at the end of the, like, I think when you think something will have to go terribly wrong, you look at some of the guys on the seniors tour, they're not crazy, other than, like, a few of the bigger names, they're not crazy. Most guys make their money, especially if they're like kind of a bottom 50, bottom 60 guy, make their money on the like senior tour. And the YouTube golf stuff too is like, it's just a generational thing. The only reason my dad likes YouTube golf is because of fucking Fat Perez. Shout out to the boy.
Highlight of the week. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I wasn't huge on it, but I also wasn't like,
Yeah, I know. I couldn't think of anything else, and it was more the phone thing was kind of bothering me. The other stuff I just thought was kind of whatever. But yeah, who's in your penalty box for this week?
Just the Bengals fucking owners. And this is what you talked about it already. It's like fucking figure it out.
Yeah, I agree.
You own an NFL team.
All right, so let's get into the bet the farm and lock of the week. I am just I'm in shambles. That's all I am. That's all I can say I am. Yeah, that's all I can say. Just let's see. You won your bet the farm last week, didn't you?
No, not the bet the farm. The lock of the week.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the lock.
I think I just want to see if I already bet it. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just go ahead. So we're both 0-8 in bet the farm. Shocker there. So my bet the farm, it's 20 cents to win $320. It's like plus 110. I actually have the Sabres over the Bruins. They're down 2-1, but the Sabres are favorites in this game. I actually have the Jackets, who are some surprisingly underdog against the Devils, but I like the Jackets over the Devils. I have the Leafs over the Flames, which game should start any minute now. I don't know if it starts at 8 o'clock start. I'm not sure.
It says 7:40.
I got the Wild underdogs against the Kings. You know the Kings have been flying recently. I have the Knicks over the Heat, Pistons over the Pelicans, Timberwolves over the Pacers, Rockets minus 1,400 over the 76ers. They have Embiid out, and they just shut down PG for the rest of the season, so that should be a lock. I got the Bulls over the Jazz, Nuggets underdogs against the Warriors, who are hot right now. I have the Grizzlies over the Kings, Suns over the Raptors, Trailblazers over Washington, Lakers over the Spurs, and then I have the Lightning money line against the Flyers with Kucherov, Gensel, and Braden Point each collecting a.
Yeah, sick. I literally just did mine now. 14 picks, 45,000. Little bet to hen house this week. I got the Blue Jackets over the Devils, 0-0 on the second. I got the Lightning over the Flyers, also 0-0 on the first. Leafs over the Flames, Kings over the Wild. I took the New York Knicks over the Heat, and took the Pistons over the Pelicans, the Timberwolves over the Pacers, Rockets over the Sixers, the Jazz over the Bulls, Golden State over Denver, the Grizzlies over Sacramento, the Suns over Toronto, the Trailblazers over Washington, and then I took the under in the Spurs and LA Lakers game, under 229 points.
Respect that. My bet the farm, or my locked of the week is just another Leaf. I need the win. I'm 1 for 8. You're 3 for 6. So I need to get back on track here. Excuse me. I only have one to bet since McDavid anytime goals against USA in the Four Nations. So I know. It happens sometimes, but I just have simply Marner assist, Matthews anytime, Tavares a point, $5 to win 25. That's usually what I do, but
I got Leafs to win money line, Kadri to score, and Willie to score. It's $10 to pay out 95.
There you go.
Yes, sir. What's your highlight of the week?
We said it, FP baby. That's my Lord Savior.
That's mine too.
I love it.
Lock it in.
This is about as fast as putts get. You want this thing just crawling over the ridge. Give us a moment here, FP.
Oh, he just blew on that. Come on now. Do it to him. Do it to him.
Give us a moment, FP. Give us a moment.
Right in the middle. Yeah! What a birdie. What a two.
Bob does sports to the moon.
Creator Classic, just absolutely. I mean, I don't know how long it was, just downhill and one of the hardest greens to hit.
It was better than most putt, pretty much. It was Tiger's better than most putt.
Exactly. So
yeah, throw in the highlight, tag Bob does sports, get us on the channel.
I have a little bit of a schedule change for my content. So if anyone's been following me, so I usually do a segment that I'll post every single day, like it's my best captain segment, and I'll do countdown from the teams every single day. But I'm gonna change it up instead, because then I would have a segment on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But instead, what I kind of want to do is maximize, because I think I'm good at coming up with the content ideas. I think I can figure that out in the research. But I think I'm over posting for a lot of it, and I think I want to create the anticipation more. So now, instead of doing a segment that goes through every day, I'm going to start doing, it starts next week. I'm going to wrap up this week with right now doing the most iconic series in each team's history. This week will wrap up on Friday. And then starting Monday, I'm going to have a segment that's on Monday, which right now it's every team's biggest bust, which I have about 20 teams left. Today was Anaheim, so check that out. Tuesdays now are going to be, what are they going to be?
Oh, this is tough. This is a tough look for the kid. Cut this out.
biggest Tuesdays now are going to be biggest one-year wonders in every team's history. So a guy who basically
that's cool,
had a sick year or maybe in the middle of their career, and then just this like a 70-point year, and the next year's had like 20. So, and that'll be fun. That'll be Tuesdays, Wednesdays. This week I'm actually wrapping up after 32 long weeks. I was doing best player by draft pick, starting with pick number 32, all the way to pick number 1, which will be this Wednesday. Can you guess who I have as the best first overall pick in NHL history? I'm not going to say the answer now, but what are your guesses?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong guy about fucking NHL draft picks.
All right.
I wish I could tell you. It's tough for the brand, tough for my brand for hockey.
That's all right.
But yeah, I couldn't tell you.
So that's the new Wednesday segment starting next week is going to be the biggest what if in each team history. Either a trade, a play, a signing, injury, something like that. Thursday is going to continue to be prospect watch. There's so many prospects in the world, either they're not drafted or they're top stars. That's the easiest one to do, and I like just kind of looking at these young guns. And Fridays are going to continue to be a team's best lineup combinations they've ever had. So not best fantasy lineups, like Sundin with Matthews and blah, blah, blah. For the Leafs, it would be an actual line this team has had that was the best they've had in the past 30 years. Because sometimes when you bring in the Habs in the early 1900s, it's just impossible to find footage and impossible. And I'm just like, I can't just say, oh, this line from the 40s is the best of all time. It doesn't make any sense. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to have a segment for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which I think is so much better. So that segment can run for 32 weeks for 32 teams. The weekends, I'm going to focus more on the podcast, maybe some polls, stuff like that, comments, stuff like that. So I'm happy with this new format. We're going to test it out. And yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to say before we wrap it up. I thought this was going to be a short episode, and now we're reaching an hour and a half.
Me too. I'm not going to lie. I was going to get up in the middle and turn the light on because I look like I'm...
I was going to say, your light just went lower each time.
I know. I still have to cook dinner. I thought I was going to be done at like 7:30.
I know. I thought it was going to be early. But, you know, I mean, this is a good episode.
It was a good episode. Well, to be quite honest,
getting another Guinness.
The NFL fucked me up. So
it was a lot. Hockey, I could rant about the Leafs and you can rant about the Bills. So that's why we work perfectly together.
And also golf's just getting good.
It's really ramping up.
Yeah.
YouTube golf is taking over. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to say, but check out Bud's Mafia on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Or the video version is on all platforms, but if you want to watch YouTube a little bit easier, go for it. I started posting YouTube shorts as well. But also follow Buds and Pucks on Instagram, TikTok, X, and Blue Sky, if you know what Blue Sky is. But yeah, I don't know if you have any more comments. Blue Sky is basically the
you told me
opposite
about this.
version
Yeah, you
of
told me
X.
about this.
Yeah. I just throw it out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I don't know if you have anything else to say. It's a great episode. We'll talk next week. Hopefully we have 5 to 6 points to talk about for the Leafs.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully they have hopefully a big win tonight. I'm excited.
Hopefully. I'm pumped to go watch the game and cook some dinner.
All right, bro. Talk to you later. Have a good one.